Last season, Schalke steadied the ship after a disastrous fall from grace, and now we take on our first campaign back in Division 2 this time around. Hey, what's going on? Respected Jeff here, and we are back for Season 2 with Schalke, and we kick the campaign off with a ton of news from the offseason. First off, it's a brand new sponsorship for the team. We've managed to strike a deal with local energy company RWE to help us start to pay off our financial debts. Now, the team is still in bad shape with money, but this will at least help us stay afloat in the meantime. Now, the transfer market is actually where we've had the biggest updates. Unfortunately, many players have left the team in the offseason. Captain and legend Huntelaar has retired and left the team in search of some more experienced replacements. We also missed out with frustrated striker Steven Skripski letting his contract run out. Center back Jan Kierhoff leaves in search of minutes after falling behind Hawkins and Shaw. And we also lose out on young striker Schuler, goalkeepers Langer and Allers, and even our promising academy fullback Ambrose, who actually secures a surprise move to Premier League side Everton, so fair play to him. And finally, academy winger Diamant Barisha steps out on loan for the season after not really getting adequate minutes last time around, which now means we have a skeleton crew of only 17 players, and with a potential relegation battle looming this season, the fight to stay in Division 2 means that we desperately need help. Now, on the bright side, we have young striker Ahmed Kutucu returning from loan this season, and he might be one of the options to fill the shoes left by Huntelaar. He's rated 70 overall, and he's definitely going to provide a real challenge for that starting spot up top, alongside Shandon and Brook. But our real problem here is going to be our budget. Now, despite the promotion, the new sponsorship deal, and even player sales, Schalke are still in crisis mode financially. We've managed to barely piece together $3 million after all of that, which really isn't too bad for this division, but it's definitely not even close enough to make 8 signings. So with money really tight and being desperately in need of players, we once again turn our focus to the academy. And for anyone watching this series for the first time, all of the academy players in this career are actually from Schalke's real life youth academy. I'm modding them into the game with real faces and overalls based on Football Manager to just give that little bit of extra realism to this save. So first up out of the bunch, it is promising young goalkeeper Daniel Rose, and with our backup goalkeepers having left the club, we give the call up to this Irish talent who's going to be tasked with eventually replacing an aging Robin Himmelman, hopefully over the next few seasons, and he definitely looks up for the challenge. So as he makes his entrance into the first team officially, I can't wait to see what this star in the making is made of. Alright, so goalkeepers sorted, and next up we call upon the Mafundu twins, Jordi and Artie, one center back, one left winger, high potential, exciting to watch, definitely 2 players to keep an eye out for this season. Defensive midfielder Bogdan Shubin also gets the call up and will get a chance to show what he's got in the center of the pitch this season as well. And finally, promising right back Luca Campanile gets his shot with the first team. The exit of Ambrose means we're looking for another promising right back to challenge Becker for a spot over the coming couple of seasons, and Campanile is the right man for the job. So the squad is looking much better with the academy boys in the mix, and we've seen what they can do in the past, so the hopes are high for these who are just breaking through into the team now. But we're still in Division 2, and having bright young talent isn't necessarily going to be enough for us to avoid relegation. We need to find experienced players to help us stay afloat this season, but with tight funds, it is really tough to attract any talent in the market. So first up, we need a starting winger to replace Steven Skripski. I turn to a familiar face, Onel Hernandez, one of the fan favorites from my time with Norwich back in FIFA 19. It was my first career on the channel, so it's got a sweet spot in my heart. Now, his career in this save has completely derailed after a transfer to Mexico. We're looking to get him back on track to his homeland in Germany. However, again, we just don't have the financial power needed to bring him over, and honestly, it was the same with all of our backup options. We couldn't get anything done, so until we get significant funds, we are going to struggle big time in the market. Now, we still do manage to get our business done. We eventually turn to a free transfer for the experienced Marco Fabian, a winger who's found himself out of contract in the summer and makes a return move to Germany to help us fight for survival. He's not necessarily our typical style of winger. He's slow and relies heavily on technical ability, but he's a class act, and I'm really excited to see what he can do for us this season. Now, next up, we definitely still need some more depth on the team. So in terms of midfield, we managed to grab another experienced player in in comes Marco Huger, a former Schalke player who also became a free agent this summer and is going to give us some much needed experience in the middle of the pitch for no money in terms of a transfer fee at least, which is very, very nice. So it's been a crazy offseason, honestly one of the more chaotic windows I've ever had as manager. 8 players out, 7 players in, and if I'm being realistic here, we're going to face an adjustment period. We're not only facing teams that are a step up to a new division, but we also just have so many new faces in the dressing room. Can we rebuild the chemistry and really survive at this higher level of competition? Well, I'll be hoping so, but if I'm being realistic, we should finish about mid-table this season. On paper, at least, we have an average rating of 68 right now, which is right in the middle of the road for Division 2, so that's a good sign, but we just have to do everything we can to avoid relegation. This should be a building year for us, and the key is going to be developing our own talent, so that just about sums it up for the offseason. Transfer business mostly done already, and the team is gearing up for a very tough season ahead. Can Schalke have another successful season and avoid relegation this time around in Season 2? Well, we're about to find out. Alright, here we go, our second campaign in charge of Schalke, a division higher and a much bigger challenge for the team. Here we go, back into action for the first time. Only one new familiar face in the squad to start this one, Marco Fabian out on the left-hand side, and guess who scores? Real sloppy bit of defending, but we'll take it. Marco Fabian hits the ground running with a goal in his first game. Looks like he's fitting just in with the rest of the squad as they celebrate that one. And in the meantime, there's a lot to watch out for this season. We now have 3 strikers in contention, like I mentioned earlier. Chandan gets the start up top here, but we have Kutuju and Brook looking to make an impression as well, so it's important for Chandan that he hits the ground running, and a 1v1 saved by the goalkeeper doesn't look too good for our striker here. Coming into the second half, we do concede a goal to keep things level here, 1-1, and that's another thing to watch out for this season is our defense. Obviously, by far the best in the league last season, but we'll see how well that translates a division higher. We've conceded already here, but 1-1, still a very close game, so don't get me wrong, it's not a mark on our defense at all. A shot goes wide there from Bozdogan, who's looking to make an impact, and it's Kutuju coming on as a sub, like I mentioned earlier, looking to make a mark on the team coming back from loan last season. We want to definitely see what he can do here. With 3 players fighting for that one single spot up top, I'm not going to change my formation to necessarily suit any of those 3 players, so it's up to them to figure out if either one can work out on the wing or who's going to get the start up top, but time will tell here. 90 minutes gone and we are hanging on, and we eventually see it out there. 1-1, not the worst in the world for our first game here in Division 2, so we'll look to build on this one, and it's on to the next. Alright, here we go, second game of the season, and it's a big one. And hey guys, in the meantime, if you've been enjoying this series, please consider subscribing to the channel. Helps me out a lot, and let's get straight to the action here. Schalke in search of 3 points this time around. Every point is going to matter this season with a lot on the line. We just have to make sure we stay in this division and can continue to build. I don't think promotion's realistic. Hopefully relegation isn't either, but we'll see. We're going to fight hard to make sure that it stays that way. Bujaleb playing through midfield here in that double pivot alongside Bozdogan, and Farfan lays it up for Chandan, who again can't quite get on the receiving end of the pass, and our defense holds strong as a chance comes back on our end. Defense has looked like its former self coming in from last season, especially Shaw, unbelievable defender, but eventually we concede regardless. Dresden finds themselves in front of us here, 38 minutes into the match, and doesn't look like slowing down. Another chance coming down our wing. Can the defense hold strong this time? No, it's a second goal in the back of the net. And unfortunately for us, 2 goals down, not looking great at this point. Chandan looking to change the dynamic a little bit here. Fabian does really well to keep a hold of possession and find Oaks. Little give and go. Marco Fabian still going, lays it back. Oaks blasts it over the bar with that left-hand side looking dangerous this season. Oaks still continuing to grow into that role after an injury to Çalhanoğlu has kept him out of the side, and Marco Fabian, like I said, has fit right in here. But it's Bujaleb with the first real chance through in on goal, and he makes no mistake in front of the net, in the back of the net, and he looks to have a good start to the season as well so far. Both of our central midfielders young and very, very promising. Fairly interchangeable in terms of stats. Bozdogan and Bujaleb, both very good players. Sky's the limit for them, and another chance missed by Chandan. Well, if we could at least just grab a second goal here and salvage a point out of this game, I would take it at this point. Can Bozdogan, say no more, slams that one into the top corner. What a finish. And like I was just saying, between the two of them, our central midfielders are really something to behold here. Sky's the limit for them. They just seem to get better with every passing game. And coming into Season 2, both are hotly contested prospects. Really, we're going to have to make sure we keep a hold of them going into January and even further than that. So, like I said, we did salvage a point here. 2-2, definitely not the worst start to the season. We're looking to see just a little more, but some really promising signs from our team, so we take it and we move on. Alright, well, a quick break in action here as we take on the German Cup, and it's a chance to rotate the squad, so I'm going to take it. We have so many players waiting to show what they got, and a lot of youth players who have just made their way into the team, and I want to see what they've got, so we're really rotating almost everyone. In the end, we ended up switching 10 players out. Debuts for tons of those youth players that we promoted earlier. Daniel Rose in goal. Both the Mufundu brothers. Kutucu starts up top. Let's see what they got. Here we go. Like I said, 10 of 11 rotated. We want to see the full depth of the team available. And really, since survival is our main goal this season, our cup run doesn't matter too much. Not that we're not going to give it our all, but we're definitely going to rotate and give new players a chance. It's the debut for Marco Huger, Jordi and Artie Mufundu, Dan Rose is in goal, and even players like Sidi Sane or Kutucu are both looking to impress. And finally, Çalhanoğlu does get his return with a start at left back. Oak slipping up maybe just a little bit. He was definitely responsible for that second goal last game. Not saying anything's going to happen because of it. He's been playing well, but it is a chance for Çalhanoğlu to show what he's got, and he's taking it so far. Really good play so far from the left back. Before his injury last season, I have to say he might have been our best player, but we concede here the defense maybe not holding up the best here. It's a completely new partnership. I can't really fault them. It might be down to us rotating just a little bit too much, but I really wanted some of those players to get their debuts. Mufundu couldn't quite get to that one. We find ourselves a goal down here. Kutucu doing really well to win the ball back, and he's through in on goal now. What can he do? Lays it back. Bujaleb can't quite sneak it through. Sidi Sane on the end of the move. It's a weak shot at the goalkeeper, and Sane, unfortunately, still can't quite find his footing here in a Schalke jersey. Fairly underwhelming last season for him. Plenty of appearances, couldn't really make the most of them. Not a flop, really, but it's just not the heights we really expected to hit with him being one of our most promising youngsters. He just couldn't make an impact in the team. I'm definitely not giving up on him. I mean, I still think he's got tons of potential. He could fulfill it eventually. Still so young, but we will see here. Sane with the ball. Can he make something happen? Lays it back up. Mufundu! Oh, it's just wide of the post. Well, what a goal that would have been on his debut. Jordi Mufundu. It's just wide. Couldn't quite make the connection he wanted with it, but it's been a fairly bright start from the left winger. Coming back in our direction, though, we got to make sure we don't concede another, and we do. 2 goals down. It's not looking great for Schalke so far. Well, I mean, I guess we couldn't expect too much with the team really having so many young faces in the squad, but it is the trade-off we make. I want them to at least kind of get a feel for the team and get their form going early in the season, but I guess it won't help the case too much if we really get hammered in this one, so we got to find some kind of way of changing the game here. Çalhanoğlu calmly played out of the back, but the pressure continues to mount. It's basically walked all the way to goal. Dan Rose makes the save. Not bad from the goalkeeper, despite having conceded 2. He's had a pretty solid game so far. Neither of those goals were his fault by any stretch of the imagination. Kutucu comes away with it. Nice aggression to win the ball back, but again, it hasn't quite come off for the striker here. We're looking to see a little more up top. Jordi Mufundu cutting in with a little bit of trickery. Saved by the goalkeeper. Not bad at all from our left winger. Sidi Sane gets ahead to that one, but it is offsides. We can't see it out to anything meaningful. No goals for Schalke. Some decent talking points, some good debuts from the youngsters, but definitely not any performance to write home about. So we take the loss, and we move on to our next game in the league. Alright, well, it was a fairly nice break in action despite the loss. Çalhanoğlu sends us a message. He's sorry to let us down. I thought he had a fine game. Definitely wasn't down to him, anything that happened there. Definitely one to keep an eye out for. Oak still has that starting position at left back locked down, but that's a storyline we might see unfolding this season. With that said, let's get back to action. Alright, here we go, back to league action, back to our preferred starting 11. The same team that we've seen in our opening 2 matches is the same that continues out here. And really, I think we've been playing okay. Obviously, it would be better to get wins than the draws that we've been salvaging here. And really, I think it's down to some troubles up top. Trouble might be a bit dramatic. It's still so early in the season. But like I've been saying, between Candan, Kutucu, Brook, I don't know who's going to step up here. It's clear that our defense probably won't be able to keep as many clean sheets as we did last season. And if you guys remember, we had so many 1-0 wins last season. Things would have been dramatically different if our defense wasn't holding strong. So attack really continues to be our problem, and with a step up in competition, we can't be relying on those kind of results. So it's going to be down to strikers to make a bit more of an impact. Chandan with a shot from distance, and we see him trying to do exactly that. He lines up for another here. Fatih Chandan saved by the goalkeeper for a second time, trying to take matters into his own hand, but he needs a little bit more support to do so, I think. Poked away there. It's really good stuff from Schalke, setting up a counterattack here. Bozdogan, what can he do? Waiting for the run ahead of him. Fabian, little dink over the top is a lovely one for Chandan. Really good pass and vision from Fabian. Chandan finds the back of the net. There you have it. He's been a man on a mission out there, and he finally capitalizes with a goal. Well, I guess that's our answer for now. Chandan stays our striker after really having a good performance out there. He's starting to turn it around just a little bit. So heads up for Kutucu and Brook. It's going to take a little bit of effort here to find your way back into the team. Let's see what we got. Hopefully we get a good response from all of our strikers and get a lot of good competition going in the squad this season. But some really poor play out from the back there finds its way back in our direction. It's in the back of the net. We concede again. Sloppy play. And we can't quite get away with what we've been getting away with over the last season in this higher division. Himmelman with a fantastic save from his foot. It's eventually seen out there, and we definitely get away with one coming into the second half here. Chandan lays it off. Marco Huger blasts it over the bar this time. And you know, I actually stand corrected. Jaggy had started the first 2 games of the season, but Huger, after his good performance, maybe just needing a little bit more experience in the squad, gets the nod here. But it doesn't matter. We concede a second and find ourselves down. Really, regardless of how much experience is in the squad, we are still having troubles here. Fair play. That's a lovely ball and a great finish, but we just need to see better from our defense. So both strikers coming on, Igel Brook and Kutucu going up top alongside Chandan. It's all 3, and we'll see if they can come away with something here. All we need is a goal to tie things up again. Bit of an ask here as we continue to do this game after game, but we'll take whatever points we can get here. Farfan sprinting down the wing. The 36-year-old, still plenty of gas left in his tank. Even at this age, he's still got the legs to run. Now can he pick out the pass? Yes! Bujalev makes a mess of the finish. It's well wide of goal, and that might have been our chance here with 15 minutes remaining in the game. Fabian still going here, looks to play it through. Kutucu, a little wide on the wing here, but he's definitely got an eye for a goal. It's blocked, and again, just a little disappointing there from the young striker who can't make something happen. Only a couple minutes remain. Becker plays it forward, is the last roll of the dice here for Schalke. Fabian plays it through. Igel Brook just an inch or 2 ahead of him, not far off at all. He's using his pace to open the space up, but it wasn't enough. We finally see defeat here in the league. 2-1, not too far off, but again, it's just disappointing from our defense to not be able to hold on. But like I said, I think we can expect a lot more of that here. Having moved up a division, it's going to be down to our offense to just score a few more goals and really turn the tide of some of these games. So we take our first loss of the season, and it's on to the next. All right, well, in the meantime here, Marco Huger having started that last game, Theo Jaggi wants to let us know he still wants to be in competition for that starting spot. And really, they're pretty interchangeable players, 70 versus 71 overall. Very different skill sets, so we're definitely going to make full use of both of these players. But we'll see who really nails down that spot in our preferred starting 11 as the season goes on here. Another one having made a great case for themselves so far this season, but both very good players in their own right. So we got some more games coming up. Without further ado, let's get back to it. All right, here we go. Still in search of our first win this season. Can we find it this time around? Well, let's see here. We're in front of the home fans this time around, at least with a packed stadium, unlike in real life. So hopefully they can boost us to some sort of victory or at least decent result here. But we find ourselves down already. It's been a rough run so far this season. I mean, really, despite our defensive somewhat troubles, I don't want to say troubles, we're not doing awful or anything, but Shaw really has stood out as an absolutely outstanding defender. Sky is the limit for the young center back. Obviously, he and Hawkins both doing a really good job, but Shaw has taken it up another level this season. He's making unbelievable tackles. His positioning is immaculate, and I'm starting to become afraid at this point that someone's going to try to poach him. His potential has risen up to the mid-80s at this point after having really had a good season last year, and the game gave him a little bit of a boost. But we'll see what happens there. We are still in search of a goal here, and it is that man Shaw who heads it down a couple inches above the bar. Not too bad. He got it down, was trying to see it rise back up over the goalkeeper, but unfortunately for him, it rises over the crossbar as well. Schalke still in search of a goal here. Fabian plays it through. Lovely ball for Oaks running onto it. What can he do here? Philip Oaks still going. And still going, looking for a way through. Marco Fabian. Oh, that's outstanding. Volley right off the uprights and in just over the line. It came back out, but it still counts nonetheless here. Marco Fabian wearing the captain's armband after Chandon having come off here, and it's some more fresh legs. Igal Brook, let's go for this one. We got 15 minutes to make a difference. And I hope that the young striker can take his chances here this season. Like I already mentioned, he's found minutes a little more limited than he did last season. I'm trying to take care to not overplay him or really outplay expectations that he might have on his shoulders this season, but he is a huge asset, especially with that pace on the counterattack. And speak of that, we might have one shaping up here. Kutuju, the other substitute up top now. Little give and go here with Igal Brook, and he's clean through. Ahmed Kutuju, what can he do? It's in the back of the net. There you have it. Both of the substitutes linking up there. Kutuju, first goal of the season, and Brook, his first assist of the season. Great stuff from both of them, and things are looking up for our strike force as Chandon, Kutuju, Brook, they're all getting involved these last couple of games, and you love to see it. We get a goal and put ourselves in front. Can we be on our way to our first 3 points in the league here? Well, unfortunately for us, ball given away, and on the counterattack here with only 4 minutes remaining. We're trying to close down the pressure, and a ball finds its way through. Lovely vision, and it's curled around Himmelman. 2-2, and in the dying minutes of this game, we concede again to level things back up. Shaw prevents it from getting even worse here, and eventually we send the ball down the pitch. Kutuju looking for the outlet, and he might just be onside. No, he's not. Clean through on goal. Bostogan not able to get a final chance of the game. 2-2, another draw for us, and a disappointing one at that. All right, well, no time to waste. We're getting straight into our next game here, and we are still in search of our first win of the season. Plenty of draws. We just need someone to step up and make a difference here, and we come out hot in the beginning of this game looking to really make an impression, but it's going to be tough to do that. It's going to be a really tough season, if I'm being completely honest. This is a huge step up in difficulty for us, but Malik Shaw seems to be up for it. Like I mentioned several times already, he's becoming a star. The center back, the young center back, is so just outstanding. Not even considering his age, but just the level of competition. He consistently seems to be head and shoulders above all the other defenders around him. And although, I mean, for us, that's saying a lot. Hawkins has been great. Both of our fullbacks really have been solid as well. Maybe nothing to write home about, but consistent to say the least. And Shaw's really the leader in that back line. So like I mentioned, we're going to have to do a lot to keep a hold of him, especially with his potential and market value rising game after game over this past season and a half. But he's integral to us, and we're going to do everything we can to keep a hold of him, especially the fact that he's been at the club for a little while now. We're hoping that he can stay as part of this project. And really, in terms of experience in the squad, he's the only young performer consistently doing it week in, week out. We have a lot of key players in the team, Bozdogan, Bujaleb, several other young players who are making an impression, but I think the best performers so far this season, Chandon, Huger, now Fabian coming into the mix, Farfan, Himmelman, they've all been our best players, and I think it's really important for the youngsters that we have these experienced heads leading both the front and back line and keeping things together, especially like I've been mentioning. In a season like this where it's really important for us to fight for survival and really rely on that, but unfortunately for us, we concede again and we go down again. It's going to be a really tough run for us here, and this game looks to be no different. Well, now that we're a goal behind, it is crucial that we find some goals ourselves on the score sheet and turn this game around, because this would be a crushing defeat to really end out what's not been a great run for the team so far. Huger, though, plays it through. Fabian finds himself through, and that is a lovely strike into the top corner. Well, I was just talking about the experienced players in the squad, and they deliver once again. Not only the experienced players, but the new players as well. Huger linking up with Fabian, our two new signings, and they've really both been proving to be great. Huger has kind of nailed down that starting spot over Theo Jaggi. I mean, obviously both of them are going to get plenty of minutes this season, but I just think that tough tackle that he provides really makes a difference here. And there he goes again, sliding through Chandon this time. That's virtually an identical goal. And I mean, every experienced player on the pitch seems to be getting involved in a meaningful way right now. Chandon, Fabian, Huger, they're all really making the difference out there. And now it's Farfan comes so close there. If it wasn't for a lovely save by the goalkeeper, that would have been in the back of the net. Really stepping up to the plate here. And we just got to hang on. Can we go on to really grab our first win? This time, Bujaleb plays through Farfan, who's still got the legs on him. There he goes into space. Jefferson, Farfan, can he pick the ball out? Back post, Chandon can't quite get to it, but it's a really good effort here. 20 minutes left. Can we secure a third? Oh, that's a lovely flick over the top, though. Hawkins done dirty by the offense, who are coming back in our direction. Can we hang on? Yes! Himmelman makes this save. Maybe not having as good of a season so far as he did last, but we're glad to see that. So some young players coming onto the pitch now. Sane and Çalhanoğlu, who we're both really looking to see more from, but they're going to be given every opportunity this season, and CD Sane finds himself in a bit of space here with time winding down. All we got to do is keep a hold of this one. CD Sane, keep it on the wing. Let's just see this game out. Bozdogan, maybe one more chance shaping up here. It's in the box. Fabian, it's wide of the goal, but it doesn't matter. The whistle blows. We finally get our first win of the season. 2-1. It's a close one, but we'll take the points. Lovely performance in the team. You'll love to see the fighting spirit, and we move on. All right, well, not too bad from the team. Been a mixed bag of results so far, but we find ourselves on transfer deadline day. An offer coming in for a loan for Ardi Mafundu, but unfortunately it was a loan with an option to buy, and we don't want to take that. He's a player that I want to see integral to this squad over the next couple seasons. In other news, taking a look at our academy, I know I haven't discussed what's left too much, but we have plenty of players still waiting. Probably the pick of the bunch. It's between Maiden and Evan Rotundo, the young American, the latter of which has requested that he gets called up to the first team under threat of leaving, and we don't want to miss out on a talent like this. Lots of potential. I don't know where he's going to fit in right now, because we really do have all those central midfield spots locked down, and with Shubin being called up, it's not like we have any lack of options, but we'll bring him on board. Maybe he'll get a loan out if he doesn't find himself getting too many minutes, but a definite talent for the future, and one who I want to see in this team. Michael Madden can hang on for now. He'll find himself in the academy again. He's not a player I think will get any minutes right now in the team, but definitely one for the future. Now taking a look at where we stand, 13th place, not ideal, but anything above the relegation zone is going to be a win for us this season. Like I said, it's just not realistic that we'll be challenging for promotion in any sense this season. If we can hang on and just build the squad and look forward towards next year, I think that's going to be a win for us. In the meantime, we'll try to develop our young talents, get some good performances in, and just continue our slow march back to the Bundesliga. In the meantime, taking a look at how the squad has done so far, obviously Marco Fabian has really hit the ground running. 3 goals in our opening 5 matches. He's our top goal scorer so far. Right behind him is Chandan, who maybe not, again, really lit the league on fire or anything like that, but 2 goals, and he's really showing us what he can do consistently up top wearing the captain's armband. Both of our central midfielders, Bujaleb and Bozdogan, looked okay, but it's really our backline youngster who is notable at this point, Malik Chaw, up to 69 overall and leading the line like a very experienced player. Hugo Hawkins, alongside of him, still doing a good job, but I think Chaw is kind of stealing the headlines these days. Arbner Aliou, another option in the center back position, coming out of the academy and looking for more minutes this season. Taking a look at the assists, Bozdogan chipping in, Marco Huger, new signing, surprised to see up there, and Jefferson Farfan, a player I just want to see more from him this season. He's such a great player. But if you guys want to do some analysis of your own and really take a detailed look at the squad, go check out respectthejeff.com. You can see all of the players on the team currently, what their current ratings are and stats, things like that. Leave me some comments in the comment section, either there or here on these videos. So make no mistake, guys, this season is not going to be a walk in the park. We are fighting for survival, and if these first 5 matches have shown anything, I think it's pretty clear. We've got a deep squad, though, and lots of players fighting to keep their spot, so next time around, we're going to get down to business and find out what this team is really made of. We'll probably fly through the season a little faster than usual, so I can just keep the career moving. There's going to be a lot of games every episode, so you won't want to miss it. I'll be back soon next week with the next episode, but until then, I'm Respect the Jeff, and I'll see you next time.